what your goal is in the distance. So you have to have a vision for the future. When you're going through hard times right now, you have to have a vision in your mind of what you want your marriage to be like. And like Mike said, you've got to do the work today to make it look like what you want it to look like. But like Danielle said, don't give up just because it's tiring, it's exhausting.
Well, it's so great to hear from Gary Thomas, one of our favorite marriage teachers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we are back in the kitchen with all of our kitchen couples. We've got Mike and Diane Clemens. We've got Dan and Danielle McCauley, and Eric and Kara Maines. And of course, Ron and Ann here too. We're in our kitchen. We're all in our own kitchens.
In our own little boxes here.
Like the Brady Bunch, kind of, Anyway.
Good to see you guys.
Yeah, great to have you guys back. We love doing this with you guys. And I mean, isn't Gary Thomas so rich in his teachings? And I love the point that he said about the whole, 10 years to get to a place where you go from me to we. But you know what? That doesn't mean that once you reach 10 years, you've got it all figured out, and you're doing it all right. It just means that you've kind of gotten into that good groove of how to do it well, where, selflessness is stronger than selfishness. Now, there's still a lot of both of it, I'm sure, but we got to lean more towards selflessness.
And it's worth the work. So just some of your thoughts.
So Kara and I are the only ones here that are actually underneath that 9 to 14 year mark. And like, we definitely try our best to make our decisions in the we. But if I'm being honest, a lot of times I think I do naturally go back to the me when I'm trying to make a decision. Just like, okay, these were Kara's thoughts, but my thoughts are most important. So this is what's gonna, and like, it sounds bad saying it out loud, but it is true.
And I found that this segment hits so close to home because like we've been working through something and trying to figure out what's the right next step, basically. Yeah. And I remember us having a conversation and it was like, okay, we need to focus more on what's better for our family than what's better for each of us individually. That's because it just seemed like we were kind of like fighting, and it was like, okay, but what's best for our family? Like, what do we need to do next?
So we're learning the we.
Yeah, we are.
I love when he said that a good marriage isn't something you find, it's something you make. And it's just, a marriage is, you have to work at it every single day. And it made me realize that, this quote I heard, that you have to do more than love somebody in a marriage, right? It takes a lot of sacrifice, work, and all of those things to make a good marriage. So that's the point that stuck out to me the most.
And I think it would be awfully short-sighted to believe that you could have something this wonderful, this amazing, and not have to work at it. And so sometimes I think that we don't understand. We just expect things to happen, right? But no, in order for something this wonderful, this magical to happen, that many times includes kids and so on, it really does take work. And so let's embrace that work.
For sure.
Yeah, I think we're sold a bill of goods in Hollywood and love songs and everything, that it's about the explosiveness of that initial fire that's burning and the passion. It's going to burn so hot that it's never going to burn out. When it's really not about that so much. It's more about keep feeding logs into that fire. You got to keep giving that fire fuel. And really, the destination that we have in mind is in the distance. It's in the distance. Where we want to be and where we get to, we don't get unless we go the full distance. I think sometimes it's like we start out on a long distance drive, like we're going to drive to Ottawa. I've always wanted to be in Ottawa. I want to get there. But, a couple hours into it, like, I'm bored of this drive. Why am I not in Ottawa already? And it's like we give up and say, I'm going to drive to Winnipeg instead. And then we, it's like changing our destination if we're ditching this marriage to go and to go somewhere else. It's short-sighted. I think you said that. It's really short-sighted. The destination where we want to get is in the distance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I just want to share some scripture that has encouraged me, not just in marriage, but in all of life. Galatians 6:9 says, "Do not grow weary in doing good, for at the proper time you will reap a harvest if you do not give up." And I mean, for us, we will be married 20 years coming up, our next anniversary in May. And I feel like we are just starting to figure some things out now, and so we have
Through
to go
a better
the
us.
distance. Yeah, and because we're on a marriage show, that doesn't mean we haven't had
No.
stormy seas. We have, but when Jesus is in our boat with us, there could be a hurricane all around us. But if we are willing to go the distance and have the Lord with us, it can be peaceful waters. And we're just starting to get to some more of those peaceful waters now. So do not give up. You will reap a harvest.
That's the bottom line, you guys. That is so good, because you have to have like like what Dan is saying, what your goal is in the distance. So you have to have a vision for the future. When you're going through hard times right now, you have to have a vision in your mind of what you want your marriage to be like. And like Mike said, you've got to do the work today to make it look like what you want it to look like. But like Danielle said, don't give up just because it's tiring, it's exhausting. You get just weary of doing the good stuff over and over again, and you don't get the results you want immediately. But just keep at it, and over time you'll be able to look back and you'll say all of that bad, hard stuff we went through has made us strong today. And I think everybody can say that.
Yeah, and just little things. Doing it every day forms these habits. Like Gary Thomas talked about the neuroplasticity, the big word, but these grooves in your brain, you actually train yourself. So you're at the point like you're in the car and you drive home, but you don't remember making one turn. You just start doing the right things automatically when you start making them a habit. And so what better habits could we form than doing the right things that strengthen our marriage? So great stuff.
This is good. Thanks, you guys. This was so good. We've got more A Better Us to come. So don't you guys go anywhere.
No.
Okay.
If your ego is always in the way, right? It's just not going to happen. It's not going to work. And know this, some arguments are too expensive to win.